Hello everybody and welcome back to the Ultimo News Show. I am your host, Ava Lee, and I'm going to be giving you all of the wrap-up scientific news from the month of February 2026. Okay, I'm looking at my notes here. I have them pulled up on my laptop, and I have to preface this video by saying January is a really hard month to follow up because there was a lot that happened and a lot of carryover from December that led into January. So this is going to be a bit of a shorter video because there wasn't too much to go off of from this month, but I'm going to try my hardest. Okay, our first story from last month now, because I'm releasing this kind of late, is from the U.S. National Science Foundation. Just a side note, like in all of my videos, all of my work cited is going to be in the description, so you can check out these things by yourself. I just give a general overview. So this is from the U.S. National Science Foundation, and the news article is titled nsf.gov Rubin Observatory launches real-time discovery machine for monitoring the night sky. And what I have written for here is, with Rubin's alerts, scientists will have a greater ability to catch supernova in their earliest moments, discover and track asteroids to assess potential threats to Earth, and spot rare interstellar objects as they race through the solar system. Scientists can then use this information to better understand the nature of dark matter, dark energy, and other unknown aspects of the universe. So we're getting faster recognition of what's going on in the sky, and that's pretty cool. It's hard to say. I think they said they can get like millions, hundreds of millions of alerts in one night based on new activity that's appearing in the sky, and that is so cool to me. I'll try to find it. Oh, on its first day of use, it issued 800,000 alerts of the night of February 24th. That's crazy, and they're gonna try and get the system to produce up to 7 million alerts per night. That's a lot. There's a lot going on up there, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I have a UNESCO article that I'm gonna title down below, and it's titled 2026 International Day of Women and Girls in Science. And February also included Engineers Week, which was super cool, and we celebrated at my school. We had a bunch of different engineering projects, and some engineers visit the school and talk during lunch. It was super fun. And then there was also Introduce a Girl to Engineering Day, which was also super cool. I don't remember what date it was. It was like mid to late February. So I hope y'all celebrated and really enjoyed that week and took some time to learn more about the world of engineering, because I know I did, and I know I had a blast. 2026 is the year of more dinosaurs, more of them. Could you believe it? It's only like yesterday I remember dinosaurs gallivanting in my front lawn. No. But the University of Chicago did release a statement saying that they found a new species of dinosaur, Hell-Heron Dinosuar, discovered in the Central Sahara. A UChicago-led team unearthed Spinosaurus mirabilis, a fish-eating giant, and the first new species of its kind in a century where nothing like it was thought to exist. New dinosaurs. I think we need... What's it called? Jurassic World? We need a new Jurassic World movie. Just this time, just about fish-eating dinosaurs. That's all I want to see. Only fish-eating dinosaurs. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, dinosaurs. Who would have thought? The next story that I have isn't really news, like it's not new, but I read this article and it was super cool, and it's released by Carnegie Science, and it's 6 wild discoveries from JWST, which is the James Webb Space Telescope, which I find super cool, and it just shows some different things that it's found in the past. This is going to be hard to see. And some different photos and data it's collected. You know, just some cool stuff to look at. Okay, this is my last article for the day. I know, this is going to be such a short video before I get into our launch list for the month, which half of it's already gone by because it's March 8th. Sorry, guys. I let this beginning of this month pass me by. But the launch date of Artemis 2 has been postponed again. This is why. And it's an article from Discover Magazine. And I personally have been keeping a close eye on this, so I'm just going to recap what happened in the month of February for Artemis 2. So we were scheduled for a full launch on February 6th, I think. I'm pretty sure it was like February 6th or 7th, right? And after their first wet dress rehearsal, they said, okay, let's postpone it. So they postponed it to later in February, I believe. Either later February or early March is when it was first postponed due to something was wrong with how helium was running through the rocket, right? Then, once they started the trek all the way back to the base from the launch pad, literally all the way back to the assembly building, which it's a large rocket, so it takes a long time. It takes like 12 hours just to inch it back toward the assembly building. Anyways, yeah, once they got it back in there, they realized, oh my gosh, this problem's bigger than we thought it was, apparently, because they postponed it again until beginning of April. TBD. We don't even have a day for April. We have no clue what's going on. So keep that in your hopes and prayers, because at this point, I don't know if we're ever getting Artemis. I sure hope we do, though. But yeah, that's what's going on with NASA's Artemis 2 mission. We're not getting many NASA launches for the month of March anyways, which leads me into the launch list. Okay, now we're moving into our launch list for this month of March. Some of these things have already happened because, like I said, I let this month kind of pass me by. I had lots of things to do. I moved and I got a car, so that's what's been going on over here. Anyways, so March 3rd, this already happened. SpaceX launched their 600th Starlink satellite from Cape Canaveral. That's crazy. There's 600 little Starlink satellites up there just moving around, giving us 5G. Isn't that cool? Okay. Then we have Starlink launches on the 3rd, the 7th, the 10th, the 12th, the 13th/14th tentatively, I think because of weather perchance, and the 15th. All of those are out of California and Florida. So you can watch those. I like to watch them just on YouTube Lives. Pretty fun launches. Next we have SpaceX EchoStar 25 satellite is going out of California on either the 9th or the 10th tentatively. And then nothing directly out of NASA for March because Artemis 2. Then a Japanese aerospace company, Space One Co., is launching Kairos, their version of, it's kind of like their version of the Falcon 9. And it has a couple satellites on board, and it's scheduled to be determined out of March out of the Wakayama prefecture in Japan. I might tune in for that if they update like what date it's launching. Next, for March 19th, the ICER Aerospace Company is using their launch vehicle Spectrum for a mission called Onward and Upward. This will be the launch vehicle's second space flight and first flight carrying a payload, which is a couple CubeSat satellites, which are like very small cube-shaped satellites. And they're going to be launching out of the Andøya spaceport in Norway. It's pretty cool. I might tune in for that one. Next, we have New Glenn Bluebird 7 out of Cape Canaveral, which is a Blue Origin New Glenn rocket carrying a Bluebird 7 satellite, which these satellites look insane, like thin plates of glass, launching out of Cape Canaveral with a to-be-determined date for March. And I'm going to insert like a photo of what these satellites look like because it's pretty cool. Like, they look so thin, just like hovering out there. I don't know. I thought that was cool. And then the last launch of this month is also a to-be-determined date, and it's Firefly Aerospace launching Alpha, their first mission called Stairway to 7. The company is currently being sued by investors over the viability of the Alpha rocket. So that's a little tea for the aerospace industry right there. That's all I have for this month. Isn't that crazy? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please think about liking and subscribing. If there's anything that you want to see or anything that I missed from the month of February, feel free to comment it and maybe I'll share it in my next video. If you have any suggestions, I also have an email in my bio thingy. Email me. Maybe I'll answer, right? This video is kind of awkward to record because usually I'm like 30 feet away from the camera. I'm usually like, hi there, welcome back to the Ultimo News Show, but this time I was up in y'all's face. So bear with me while I figure out the recording situation in my new home. And hopefully the videos will get better from here on out. Peace. That's a wrap.